Sean, very good to see you. We're going to start with a question. What is a retirement drawdown strategy? I know you have 4 tips to help make sure our money lasts. We spend decades building our nest egg, and then when we retire, we need a plan to stop saving and start spending, but not spending so much that we risk running out of money. So again, you're going to share these 4 tips with us. And first on your list is that we need a plan to minimize taxes.
Yeah, absolutely, Erin. So most Americans spend their careers putting money into retirement savings accounts, which is the right thing to do. You need to put your money aside so that you can support yourself in retirement. The incentive that the government has provided is to put most of these into pre-tax accounts. These are 401ks, IRAs, simple IRAs, 457s, that type of thing. You don't pay taxes on them while you're working. In fact, you get a bit of a tax write-off with each year you make a contribution. The flip side of that is when you retire and you start taking that money out, all of the money in your IRAs or 401ks becomes taxable. So it's really important to look at what you have in retirement, whether it's an IRA, whether it's just a regular kind of investment account, a 401k, determine what's taxable when you take the money out, determine what's not, and then identify the withdrawal strategy in terms of where are we going to pull from at what point in time to fund retirement. There's no one size fits all, Erin. It's a conversation that individuals need to have with their advisor to determine the optimal strategy to hopefully reduce those taxes. We've talked about in the past, and I'll just mention it again, Roth IRAs are the exception to that rule. You put them in after tax, they grow tax-free, and you never pay taxes on them again. Hopefully that's a nice part of an individual's retirement savings.
Absolutely. Have that conversation sooner rather than later. Well said. All right. Point number 2, you have to make the right decision about claiming Social Security. And this can be complicated.
It's very complicated. Every American can claim the regular Social Security benefit at age 62. You can delay that all the way up to age 70. For most of us, based on your birthday, our full retirement age is 67. With every year you wait, between 62 and 70, you're going to get roughly an 8% increase in the benefit. Sometimes people say, I worked my butt off. I want to get that money now when I'm 62. That might make sense for people. Either they can afford it or they need to do it. For others, it might make sense to wait. Again, it's not one size fits all. You have to have a discussion and think about what your goals are, how much you've saved, how much you're going to need for income in retirement, what this split is between your taxable and non-taxable accounts, and that'll help indicate or guide you in terms of when you collect Social Security. Of course, you also have to look at, what your health is like. If you are a really healthy person and your family is long-lived, you're probably going to want to wait on collecting. If the people in your family are dying young, maybe you want to collect early. Again, it's a conversation you need to have.
Right. Similar conversation would be if you're lucky enough to have a pension, you need to figure out the right pension payout.
Absolutely. Pensions are amazing things. And if you have one, good for you. It's really a good thing to have that guaranteed income in retirement. There's going to be some options for lots of folks when they retire with a pension. The first option is, do you want the pension or do you want the money? You can get a lump sum distribution for some folks. You can either take that, put it into your checking account and pay taxes on it, or you roll it into an IRA, which is probably the right thing to do. Put it into an IRA and then either draw down on that or maybe convert that into an annuity. So that's going to be your first decision. The second is, okay, do I want it for myself and then some benefit for my spouse if I pass away? There's lots of different options, Erin. You need to, again, sit down, weigh all those options, and determine what's best for you and your family.
And last, and maybe most important, you need to figure out that delicate balance between guaranteed income and long-term growth.
Absolutely. So we're all living a lot longer. The life expectancy for individuals today is decades more than it was, back in the 30s and 40s. We need to have some growth in our retirement savings, especially if we don't have a pension. We're going to need some growth in there to fight or to account for that longevity, to fight inflation, to stay ahead of market returns, or at least with them. But we also need to have some guaranteed income, much like Social Security provides. Social Security Security provides a check every single month that will be there in your checking account or in your mailbox. So you have to determine whether you have enough of that guaranteed income vis-a-vis how much you have in savings. For some folks, it makes sense to actually take on an annuity with some of that money to create an additional stream of guaranteed income. Again, we went through a lot of things, Erin. There's a lot of things to think about here, and they all come in together when determining your drawdown situation, how much you can take in. So sit down, have that conversation. Don't rush into it, but understand the pros and the cons of each decision you make.
Yeah. I feel like we could have talked about this for an hour, but certainly the biggest takeaway, Sean, is that there is no one right equation. So if somebody wants to speak with you to figure out their own personal, unique drawdown strategy, what's the best way to reach you?
Give us a call right here at our office, please. 603-715-2335. You can also go to our website where you'll find a lot more information, as well as some buttons there where you can click and schedule a meeting right on my calendar. That's daviswealthmgmt.com.
All right. Sean, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.